Okay, I'm not gonna help you.
Nobody's helping me. All these men for what?
What do you want us to do?
What a lot of women do not want to admit is that this would be exactly them when they get into a situation like this. Because so many women have been fed the message that they have to be strong, that they have to be an independent woman, that is really where their value lies today. But when push comes to shove and they get into a situation like this, they're looking for a man to help them. I don't think there's anything weak about that. I think that's just knowing your strengths and knowing somebody else's strengths. The problem is when you're living in a very peaceful, calm state and you're not falling into situations like this, it's unfortunately a little easy to forget the value in somebody else. The problem is when so many women villainize men as a whole and they say that they'd rather pick the bear than be with a man. You don't realize that in the next instant, if they were out of their peaceful, calm state and they were in a situation like this, they would be looking to a man. And what do you think men feel about that? Because they know this. And do you hear the man in the background saying, how can I help you? Like, he is willing to actually still help. And that is the majority of men. That's what a lot of women don't realize, is that even though you bash them and you push them down, they are still coming up to the plate. And that should be admired.
And that's what most guys do. They try to help out. That's what you call emotional discipline. We continue to hear modern women say, I have so much emotional discipline. I'm so emotionally intelligent, until you get under duress and you're stressed out. That's when men are expected in any situation, any relationship, any marriage, it doesn't matter. A man is expected to stay in control of his emotions. Not happy, not sad, just steady.
What's your age?
26.
25.
Are you ladies single?
Yes.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
We're smarter than most men, probably.
What has led you to believe that?
We're about to be surgeons.
Being that y'all have reached that level, do you think that makes your dating pool larger or smaller?
I would say smaller. Yeah. I think a lot of men are a little intimidated by a successful woman.
Or could it be that you just want a man who is way more successful than you?
No, I think it's really hard to be a lot more successful than a surgeon. Like, yes, you can be a little bit. Like, there definitely are people out there, but I think overall, it's pretty hard. There's a lot of degrees, a lot of education that gets involved, and I don't think that's the case.
Would you be comfortable dating a man who made less than you?
Yeah, because we're going to make a lot. Yeah. So, yes. I think there's a certain intellectual level I would want to be able to carry a conversation with, but I don't think it's a matter of how much they make.
He could be a bartender, he could be the waiter at P.F. Chang's, as long as you had intellectual conversations.
Again, it comes down to the conversations you're able to hold with each other.
So long term, you don't think as a woman, if you were footing the bills, taking care of everything, that would make you less feminine in the relationship?
No, I'm not really worried about being less feminine.
So why do you think so many women strive to have a man who makes more, earns more, and pays everything in a relationship?
I want to work.
I just want these young ladies to remember that just because you're a surgeon, you're smart, you're educated in that field. Doesn't mean that you aren't educated in any other realm, but that's your area of expertise. Just like if somebody were talking that talk about history or English or whatever it might be, they're educated in something else. Y'all can put the two together and y'all can build a powerhouse. Not saying that you have it, but don't let that ego get a hold of you.
Settle an argument for me before I get a divorce. So I'm making some chicken tenders on the grill, right? It's me, my wife, her daughter, my daughter. They don't like barbecue sauce. She's furious. She's pissed off at me right now because it's something to do with the way this chicken looks. Can somebody tell me? She's like, so this is the one you made for you and your daughter, and this is the one you made for me and my daughter. And I'm like, yeah, this is why I put barbecue sauce on this one, because you guys said you don't like barbecue sauce. See, this is like the last couple pieces that'll go there to make the piles just as big. But she's like, you don't see anything wrong with this. And I'm like, what should I see wrong with it? I see 2 piles of chicken. Mine and my daughters have barbecue sauce because we like that, and yours don't because you got it. What did I do wrong? Okay, real quick. Now that the rest of the tenders are off, their pile actually looks bigger, in my opinion, which I don't know. She won't tell me what is wrong. She just keeps saying, you can't tell me what's wrong with this. You can't look at this and tell me what's wrong with this. This is one you made for us, and that's one you made for you.
And a man is in a relationship for love. If he in a real, what is he in a relationship for?
You tell us that. That's a good question. What do you think men is in relationship?
Love.
Y'all said no. Hell no.
What am I getting besides somebody saying they love me?
So you think men?
What am I here for if all I'm getting is what you're saying you're giving me?
Which is the love.
What am I getting? So what am I here for? You name it.
It gotta be love because there's nothing else that's coming
Thank
from it.
you.
I don't believe that though.
That's the fucked up part about it.
I don't believe that.
That's the fucked up part about it. What the fuck else am I getting?
That's a fact. But I don't believe that. But that is a fact.
That's a part about being delusional as a woman.
Yeah, you're right. Because you're not really getting nothing else. And if a man is really there, it's gotta be because he love you.
Thank you.
Because he don't gotta be there.
That's why I say men love unconditionally, women love conditionally.
That's a fact.
That's the truth. Like at the end of the day, I ain't getting else.
Do you feel like that's what it is for men in general?
But a man dealing with a woman that he feel like, babe, you ain't gotta do nothing. I deal with you because I love you. Nothing else. What else? Why am I doing it? Why? You're just not lucky. Right. I love you.
Right. So it's come down to love.
Oh, I think I see the problem. There's a strong, independent woman that has the same rights as a man, but doesn't seem to want the same responsibilities. That seems to be a very popular trend among a lot of women out there. They want to reap all of the benefits of having the same rights as men, but a lot of them certainly don't want the same types of responsibilities. For example, they don't want to have to take care of themselves and carry their own luggage. And then they complain when a man doesn't offer them a seat, even though they've been saying for years that they're equal to men and don't need special treatment, except when they think they deserve it. Yeah, that's part of the problem there. But the other part of the problem is why a guy probably didn't stop and help is, yeah, there's probably a tripod and a camera set up there so that the person can film themselves carrying the bag up the stairs. That might also have something to do.
I mean, imagine having enough time to set up your phone and record yourself struggling. Oh, I gotta show the world how terrible men are. With that type of attitude, why would men help you anyway? You guys don't seem to understand that the stuff that you put out, it comes back to you. Period. And this is what you're getting. With that attitude, you don't deserve to be helped.
Be careful when you are traveling because the men do not help you. I've been away for about 3 weeks now and we have seen some things, okay? Like last night, for example, there was a girl that fell off the ledge of something onto rocks, and men needed to assist in helping her get back up because she was not cooperating and no one did. Tell me why it...
What do you mean by not cooperating? We don't glaze over that. What do you mean by not cooperating?
Took five minutes. Women were rushing over from people screaming and asking for help, and no man stopped to help. And then when one finally did stop and help, there were 2 down there. One of them said yes, walked away. The other one hoisted her up, put her down and said, I'm not dealing with you anymore, and then walked off. And then when I said, you're a bit of a dick because you are for speaking to her like that, he then came back and tried to hit me in the face and was like, who are you calling a dickhead? Who are you calling a dickhead? Just be mindful if you're traveling to Europe, Asia, wherever it is that you're going, always make sure that you have a friend with you. And if you are intoxicated or, I mean, honestly, just, I know that sometimes you can't help it, but just try to not get to that level, because I've seen women get to that level on this holiday and the men don't help. Maybe it was just luck of the draw, but these men, none of them helped. And when they did, they complained, and then tried to square up with me. So just be very, very mindful of your drinks, of your friends, of your safety in general. Just be so mindful, because last night we saw something happen that could have escalated so quickly, and it really can happen so quickly. So just be so freaking mindful, babes. Honestly, it's scary.
Be mindful when you're drinking? Yeah, that's common sense. You idiot. This is a stupid thing to say. Oh, he tried to square it with me. Yeah, because you insulted him. You insulted him. Who are you talking to? First of all, this is why the men were stepping back. Because this woman, the fact, see, you know what? This is it. This woman gets herself in trouble, falls over, expects a man to help out. Oh, we rushed over to her aid. And men, watch your surroundings. Watch what you're doing. Be careful of what's going on. Stop doing that. Oh, we got to worry about our safety 24/7. You tried to outsource your safety to the man. You try to outsource your security to the man. Too many times, y'all be trying to make men the designated driver by default. We're coming in here, we got men, so we about to cut up because we know. I know people like that. I know people that do that. And then when a man says, you know what, I didn't come here to babysit. I came here to have a little fun myself, but you were supposed to. No. I could see if y'all had an agreement before, where somebody's going to be the designated driver or somebody's going to watch out. But too many times these modern women designate men automatically because the man has muscles, because the man, in any case, they expect him to put his life on the line. The man didn't even sign up for it. The man didn't even ask for it. The man don't even know. It's just a role that they assumed that he'd take. And by and large, men just assume, okay, well, I guess this is what it is. I really don't like it. I really didn't come here for this, but it is what it is. But on vacation, y'all expect men not to enjoy themselves and put up with y'all's nonsense. And then when you fall and hurt yourself, two men come over and try to help. You got a problem with them. And then when the man says, you know what, you gonna act a fool? I'm about to get up out of here. She's acting a fool. He walks off. You pop off at him. The man don't even know you. And then when the man turns around and says, who you talking to? About to swear up and swing on you, you get mad at him because you opened your mouth. Nobody was talking to you. Go sit your stupid behind down. This is what gets you in trouble. This is what I'm saying. Oh, all we said was no. All we said is that we rejected politely. These modern women, we know too much about them. Based on, now I'm not saying it can't happen, but based on what they be posting out here, girls be careful is the caption up here. That's the caption. Nothing about, well, she shouldn't have been doing that. She should have been careful. Where are her friends at? What was she thinking? You got to be more careful in a different country. Be careful. Not doing it. There is nowhere in here that she talks about, man, you got to watch yourself. You got to be careful. Like seriously saying, hey, girls, lady, this woman was drunk. She should have been watching that. She should have been watching, her friend should have been watching her back. It's really, oh, she went to have a little fun. She got a little drunk, but that's okay. Men need to come to her aid. Men, y'all need to stop doing that. Shut up.
But I was struggling to bring my TV, fit it into my car. It was in a big box. It's a 55-inch. It could barely fit into this car. I'm sitting out here struggling to get this in my car. Men are walking back and forth. No one is trying to help me.
You see, there's a reason for that. Decades ago, you wouldn't have needed help. The men would have done it for you. The thing is, the world has changed. Women have changed. Now, see, something I tend to do a lot. I tend to imagine, what if I was a man? What would I be doing today? Would I help women? Truthfully, when I think about it, no, absolutely not. Even if my instinct as a man is leaning toward chivalry, I'm not going to help. There's a number of reasons for that. A lot of times, when men are doing nothing wrong, they end up on the internet because the wind blew something into their eye and they might have winked and someone filmed it. And then you end up on TikTok as some kind of perv because you were winking at a woman. And what if she was 17 years old and you helped her? And then you end up on the internet as some kind of creep pursuing young girls. It's just too dangerous. There are cameras out here. People are filming things with duplicitous intent. You don't know when you're going to be the next viral sensation. You don't know when you're the next guy getting your life ruined. You don't know when a woman is going to lash out at you because you might be helping her and she takes offense in that. If I was a man, I would not deal with this. Why would any man in his right mind help a modern woman? They're strong, they're aggressive, they call themselves equal, they say they can do anything that a man can do. Why do you need a man's help? Just do it. Get your girls. Women want men to be old-fashioned, but women don't want to be old-fashioned. They just want the best parts of what men can offer without giving the best parts of themselves.
It took an older man to come and see me struggling. He came out and helped me take the TV out of the box. They don't make real men anymore. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not all men, because there are good men out there, but it's such a rare thing. It took an older man to do that.
Of course it took a 70 or 80-year-old man, because he's not on social media. He doesn't see what's going on out here. He's from a different generation where women were actually beautiful. And he still believes that women are beautiful. I used to believe women were beautiful, but not anymore. Because I'm here on social media. I see what's happening on the streets. I see what's happening to men when they try to be chivalrous and kind. Sometimes it's appreciated. Oftentimes it's not. So a man has to ask himself in that moment, which risk does he want to take? Will this be a good outcome or will this be a negative outcome? A man doesn't know, so he backs away. You can't blame them for that.
We got to go back to the drawing board.
Yes, we do need to go back to the drawing board, but not in regard to men. In regard to women. Women need to go back to the drawing board. Do you realize you do need help with things, don't you? You do want them to do things, don't you? Why are they not doing it? Is it because maybe you're not doing something? Or it could be because you are doing something. You're doing too much. You're going against the very thing that you actually want. Women today primarily offer men frustration and even agony. So instead of coming online and giving a whole lecture on what men need to be doing, maybe you should go online and talk to women about what we should be doing. Because I don't hear any of that.
As a woman, like, you don't see men holding doors anymore. They don't help anymore.
That's right. Again, if I was a man, why would I hold a door? So a woman can curse me out, yell at me, tell me she doesn't need my help? This is what men are actually experiencing. The issue with women is they refuse to look at themselves ever. They see men changing toward us without realizing that we're causing the change that we're complaining about. And even as a woman myself, it does impact me. Men are not as chivalrous to me anymore. But the thing is, men don't know the difference. They don't know which woman is safe and which woman is not. We're not walking around with t-shirts that say, hey, I'm safe, I'm old school. Men don't know the difference, so they have to beware of all of us. They have to treat all of us as if we're raging radical feminists, because how can men tell the difference? It's not safe out there for them. So any complaints that you have, take it up with the girlies.
Well, if you're going to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes also. That's very manipulative, if you know what I'm saying.
Remember this, Sam. All girls are bi. You just need to find out if she is bipolar, bilingual, bisexual, or just a bitch.
Boys, you see how your mom's completely freaking out because she thinks she's too late to check out of the hotel? And she's acting like there was a horrific car accident or her child is dying or dead. Her panic levels like this. It doesn't make any sense, right? That's what women do. They go from here to full-on crazy, and it doesn't match the actual circumstance that's happening. So it's important info for you guys to learn, okay? You understand?
I'm single as of yesterday.
You got a man before yesterday?
For 2 years. Not gonna lie, I got the appointment coming.
With who?
My best friend.
You were friends with this guy while you were dating your boyfriend?
I've been friends with him before I knew my ex, I guess now.
I'm so disappointed in you, though.
Why?
You're going to go your best friend a day after breaking up with your boyfriend. That means you wanted your best friend while you were dating your boyfriend.
It's kind of more complicated, like...
Can we stop pretending like having a guy best friend isn't a huge problem? That's like me going to my nutritionist and saying, all right, I'm gonna start the keto diet. Let's do this. I am committed to this. Let's go. And then every time I sat down to eat something, I had a pack of Oreos with me. The nutritionist looks at the Oreos like, what's up with those? Oh, these, don't worry about these. I'm not gonna eat those. Oh, you're not gonna eat them? So why do you have them with you? Oh, these Oreos, I done had these Oreos since before I started this diet. I love these Oreos. These Oreos are cool. Don't worry about them. I have zero interest in eating them. I just like having them around. And the nutritionist be like, okay, so you ain't never had Oreos before? You don't like Oreos? No, I've had Oreos before. I just never had these ones, and I never will have these ones. Trust me, I will never eat these Oreos. And then one day that diet starts getting really hard. And you start thinking, man, I've been doing everything for this diet, but I ain't seeing no results. This diet ain't doing nothing for me.
Nothing will make me lose respect for a man faster than to be in the presence of a man and he see me struggling as a woman, or see any woman struggling, and he won't even take his hands out of his pockets or lift his hands to help a lady. Zero respect for men like that. I was just now in a setting struggling to lift an office chair that was really heavy, to get it from one place to the next place, and I had to lift it and carry it a short distance. Two men stood by in executive positions and watched me struggle to lift that chair, and watched me struggle to carry that chair to where it needed to be, to return it to less than, it was a very short distance back to its proper place. Zero respect. I have zero respect for men who will watch a woman struggle. If men will stand by and watch you struggle, even in lifting a chair, they will stand back and watch you struggle in other areas of your life. When it comes to women, children, and senior citizens, I have a soft place in my heart for those three populations, because they are the weakest populations on the face of the earth. To watch a senior citizen, a woman, or a child struggle, and as a man you do nothing, I have zero respect for any man who will watch a woman struggle and do nothing to help her. It says volumes about your character. Volumes.
Or hear me out. Men don't owe you their time or their resources. Hear me out. Or let's back up. Let's back up. Let's say maybe you can ask for help. Maybe you can communicate. Hey, do you gentlemen mind helping me out with this? I appreciate it. In a workplace, especially in today's day and age, wouldn't do it. In the old days, probably for sure. Absolutely. Ma'am, do you need help with that? If you would please, thank you. But nowadays, when y'all saying silly stuff and making videos about it, I'm staying far away from that. Risk management.
Y'all, I came on here earlier and asked a question to the men, and I asked the question about if you were dating a woman with kids or whatever the case may be, and it was time for school, you know, the baby daddy wasn't a part of the life, the baby daddy wasn't trying to help, but the woman, she need help with the kids' school stuff. I asked the question if you would help her, or if you should help her. There was a lot of different answers. Some men said yes you will, and some said no, some said hell no. But my thing is to that, if you are dating a woman with kids and you and this woman been rocking for over a year, surely you have decided that you want to be a part of her life. Surely you know she have children, and surely you know that woman is struggling. So for you to say that you would not help her, I think that's crazy in some sort, because I would ask you a question, then why are you with her? Especially, why are you with a woman with kids? If you don't want to help with the kids, you took a whole package on, my boy.
Aren't there videos out here that women say, don't give that man wife privileges until he makes you a wife, or he puts a ring on it? So what's different?
I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like the bills, it was time for the bills or whatever, you know, and I'm like, you know, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, you know, I'm not working. And I'm just, in a month, like, it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back? This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money. Why should I spend my money paying the bills? Like, no, he should have paid me back. So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. So I had sex with his homeboy. Like, we all cool. I texted his homeboy or whatever. You know, we went together. We left. I met up with him. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting, you know, like I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with his friend. But things happen. Like, y'all don't understand what I'm going through. So, you know, his friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, you know, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you got to handle. Like, His friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like everything I desire in a man. And you know,
And your ex-husband did what?
He's a doctor. He's a psychiatrist.
And how long ago were you married?
Up until 3 years ago.
And how much older was your husband than you?
We'll say 35 years.
So he's 53?
Currently, yes.
Why'd y'all divorce?
My husband got sick with cancer, and that changed him, and it changed the dynamics of our marriage.
Is he in remission?
Yes, he is.
And who filed for divorce?
I did.
Why?
He became mentally, emotionally, and financially
He
abused.
took care of you just fine up until he got sick.
Correct.
And then when he was fighting for his life, you became a snowflake. Did you have to work when you were married?
No, but I chose
No, you didn't have to. No. You chose. But you didn't pay no real bills. You didn't have no skills. Knock it off. I'm gonna be honest, man. This is a whole mess. So even the way you're talking, it just sounds like, ugh. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'4".
How much do you weigh?
180.
Good.
That's really the best way to handle it. Foolishness. By the time it's time for you to work, oh, I can't do it. How dare he make me, how dare I have to step up and actually do something?
Goodbye.
Last time I saw my ex-girlfriend, she said that she loved me. We started crying in an Olive Garden, which was crazy. She called me her missing puzzle piece. That's what made me start crying. It's like a little thing that we had. 3 weeks later, I found out she was with another guy.
Last time I saw Shorty, she told me I was the only man that she wanted while she wept in my chest. She was weeping in my chest and she said, "You're the only man that I want." Then she grabbed me and she kissed me like it was her last night on earth. 7 days later, she was in a relationship with another guy and told me that she didn't owe me an explanation of why that happened. Yeah.
If you wanted to be a wife in the 1950s, these are the things you would have to be able to do.
She must know how to cook. No food. She must know how to set her table attractively. She must know how to make her home comfortable and inviting. She must know the worth of labor-saving devices and how best to conserve her time and energy. She must know clothes, how to buy, and how to make them. She must face death to bring children into the world. She must raise them, care for them, and pilot them safely to the threshold of manhood and womanhood. To her husband, she must be a companion, a sweetheart, a wife, and a mother. She must stir his ambition, pull him through failure, and keep success from hurting him. She must make social contact. She must widen her own horizon and find time for culture.
Hey, Matt.
I'm not selling the car.
Yes, you are selling the car. I already
No,
told
I'm
you.
not.
It's
No.
either the car or our family because
What are you
I'm pretty much
talking about
over it.
right now?
Yes, I'm pretty much
You're
over
literally
it.
making 0 cents right now.
Matt, I am 1,000% serious that the more I think about it, it just pisses me off about how much money we spent on that car or how much
Are
money
you
we could be
joking
saving
right
if
now?
we got rid of your car.
We're not selling the car. There's
Yeah.
no reason to sell the car.
Okay, whatever.
What are you talking about? What are you doing? Did you really just throw that out there?
Yes.
Okay,
Go, you can't pull in front of somebody's
I don't care. Why would you throw it out the window?
Because you're making me angry. I already told you it's me or the car and you're not deciding.
What I'm saying is you have to learn how to communicate, okay? You're just gonna sit there and not say nothing.
I said alright.
You have nothing to say now.
Nah, you got it.
Is that all you're gonna say? Oh, you got it. Wrestling, you got it. That's all you want to say just to dismiss me, right? Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Babe, I'm driving. I gotta pay attention to the road. Why you grabbing my face?
You feel like this like means everything? This right here on my finger? You feel like that's all you had to do? Now your job is done?
You know what? I think you woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, so.
How I'm feeling right now, it's like I don't even want this anymore. Like for real, that's really how I'm feeling. Like, okay, this right.
What?
You don't care, right? Fuck this right.
Are you kidding me?
Do you know what I actually can't believe? Yesterday I was on the tube coming home and a drunk man got on the tube and he sat next to me originally and was chatting to some other people that had a dog. Oh my god, the bags under my eyes. And then they got off the tube and he was like looking at me and I was just ignoring him. I was just doing my own little thing. Then he moved and sat opposite me on the tube and then he was going, hello, hello. And I just looked at him and was like, I was like on my phone, but I like looked at him and he was like, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And he was like, where are you from? You from Italy? And I was like, no. He was like, you from here? And I was like, no, because it was like London. And I was like, no, somewhere else. He was like, oh, you're on holiday? I was like, no, just travelling. I was trying to be like just short and like get him to stop speaking to me. And then he was going like, oh, well, he had a beer in his hand and he kept spilling his beer everywhere. And I was just trying to ignore him. And he was like, are you married? And I was like, yeah, I'm married. Obviously not, but I was like, yeah, I'm married. He was like, oh, have you got children? I was like, no. He was like, oh, so you're single then? I was like, no, I'm married. And then he was like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I'm 20. I was like, if I knock a few years off, maybe he'll leave me alone. As if that would make a difference. And he was like, oh, young. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, okay. Then he just kept like mumbling like Italian words because he thought I was Italian. And I was just like, on my phone, like, and he just would not stop. He was just like, he was like going, high five me, shake my hand, all this. And then he was like, oh, bye-bye, I'm getting off now. Then he stood up and he was just still looking at me, like just standing there. And then he didn't get off. He sat back down and he was like, oh, not getting off yet, actually. And I was like, oh, okay. While this is going on, there's a bunch of men around me that were English because they were speaking English like a minute ago before he got on. And they were all just ignoring it. They were all just like leaving him to just literally harass me. And then notice like the last stop of the train is where I was getting off. And that's obviously where he was getting off because it was the last stop. So he was like, oh, okay, I'm getting off now. Obviously, I hadn't realised it was the last stop. So I said, oh, bye. And I let him get off and I stayed on the tube for a bit just so that he could walk ahead. And like, again, no one said anything to me apart from one girl took her headphones out and she went, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just like letting him walk ahead for a bit so like he doesn't speak to me anymore. And she was like, oh, I couldn't tell if he was bothering you or not. Like, I appreciate that the girl actually asked me if I was all right and everything, but like the men didn't do anything. Like, chivalry is dead, but also you couldn't tell he was bothering me. He was quite clearly bothering me. And then as we got off, she was like, I'll walk with you for a bit, but like I'm not leaving the station, I'm getting on another train, so I can't come outside with you. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, and then as we were walking, the guy had stopped and he like turned around and he saw me and he was like, oh, you, Italy. And I was just ignoring him and he was like, oi, are you ignoring me? Why are you ignoring me? And I was just like, I'm just going to keep ignoring him, just walking. He was going, oi. And then I was like, right, keys are in my hand right now. I had to walk to my car, and bear in mind, I had to get off at Ealing Broadway, which is like a scatty station, scatty area. So the route to my car was like literally a 2-minute walk. But because he was behind me, I didn't want him to follow me. So I actually went like a different route and started walking with a group of people so that I wasn't on my own. Because the route to my car, I would have been walking on my own and it was dark. And then he wandered off somewhere else and I like literally like, not sprinted, but like speed walked to my car. But yeah, I was texting my mum as well at the time and I was like, why is nobody like helping me? They can quite clearly see that this man is bothering me. Why has no man stepped in to help? It really bothered me.
Nobody really actually bothered you though. He was just doing normal drunk man activities. Just being annoying is really actually what he was doing. And you're saying that he was following you. He actually wasn't, to be honest. There's a lot of people that got off at that same stop that he did. And then you said he wandered off somewhere, as a drunk person would. So really, I don't want to say you're being paranoid, because I get where you're coming from. But this whole narrative about this man was preying on me. Do you guys ever read a dictionary to know what harassment actually is? I can see the man's having stupid conversation with you and people are looking at you, or they're probably not even listening, especially if you're on a train. They probably was like, oh, this guy's an idiot, and going on about their business. Well, at least she checked on me. She didn't do anything. You see what she did? Oh, at least she checked on me. At least she asked if I was okay. She wasn't paying attention to you either. Why didn't the men help? She didn't either. That's what they do. Just want to be outraged at men. Just want to be mad at men. Nobody helped you. That's what actually happened. Turn this video off. Delete it, actually.
Yo, what is up with men? And I know this is always a topic.
And what specific topic is this video going to be about?
Here, but I'm generally speaking about why do men have a hard time helping women?
They don't have a hard time helping women, but they've been told to leave women alone.
Something that I have observed not only in my personal life, but literally in the outside world, because I'm a watcher. Men will stand there. The women will have all the bags, the kids, the suitcases, the luggage. She'll be doing everything, and he's just standing there.
I wonder, did she ask for help?
They'll just be standing there, like just watching the woman suffer as if it brings them some kind of pleasure. From my perspective, it looks like that because I'll just be looking and I'm just like, anybody would help that woman right now. Why are you just standing there? Y'all are the men.
I guess some women do need men after all, if for nothing more than to carry heavy objects. But I guess one didn't take into consideration that a lot of men stopped helping women because whenever they do, many times they're often told that they're not doing it right, they're doing it wrong, and the woman will just redo it anyway after making the man feel about 1 inch tall. Gee, I can't imagine why more men wouldn't want to help out.
We're past the era of men making assumptions that women need help. Because again, that could be considered disrespectful and misogynistic. And so men aren't going out of the way to just lend a helping hand to women because they don't want to be seen as misogynistic.
I broke up with my boyfriend, someone I love, someone I have known for over 10 years, because he didn't stand up to misogynistic young men.
Okay, so she's saying her boyfriend didn't stand up to misogynistic young men. I'm imagining it's a scenario where, young men come up to her, say something disparaging towards her, and he just doesn't do anything about it. I'm like, okay, that's a reasonable reason for a breakup. But then she tells the story. Basically, her and her boyfriend were walking, and there were these two, young men behind her, children behind her, just talking about they liked Trump. And she got mad at her boyfriend for not saying anything. And then she turned around and screamed at the young children, and they were like, we still love Trump, and they just kept going. And she was basically mad that her boyfriend didn't stand up to misogyny in that moment. First of all, supporting Donald Trump is more so circumstantial evidence of misogyny rather than direct. And also, are men really responsible for yelling at children in public? I mean, just people in general. I'm not gonna lie, as someone who's black, if I hear someone saying they support Trump, I'm just kind of gonna move on about my day. I feel like there's a certain population of women where they expect men to turn into these superheroes and just eliminate everything that they don't like. Best case scenario, this guy turns around, he's like, hey, Trump isn't cool. And the kids are like, oh my gosh, sir, thanks for telling us. And then they go and skip away. Worst case scenario, he turns around, tells these kids, hey, Trump isn't cool. And they start yelling at him, trying to fight him and goad him into some reaction. I feel like some people just aren't really aware of the dangers of confronting strangers. Generally they are, because I feel like there's a lot of circumstances where women wouldn't step up to something, but they expect men to, because apparently men are just supposed to be crash test dummies for danger. They happen to know a particular situation, those young boys were very unlikely to put hands on her. I feel like this is just this was a ridiculous post. And I could go on about it, but you already know.
These women continue to tell us that they have emotional discipline, emotional maturity, and emotional intelligence. But you're sitting here screaming and hollering at somebody that you actually don't even know. I get that you don't agree with who they voted for, you don't agree with their opinion, and you have very strong opinions. Most people do. Religion, politics, relationships, they have very strong opinions about it. But to be out there yelling at somebody, you can get your man in trouble. These little boys are minors. If these boys, let me say it like that, are minors, then what can he actually really do? And why would you be talking to somebody else's kid like that? That don't got nothing to do with you. Number two, if these boys are grown and they decide to pop you in your mouth, now your man has to step in. All because you couldn't keep your mouth shut. All because you couldn't keep your emotions in check. You couldn't exhibit a little bit of that emotional intelligence, that situational awareness. That's what we need to start talking about. These modern women, they want emotional intelligence, but they lack situational awareness. They don't know what's going on at any point in time. And they expect the man, like we saw earlier in the video, to just jump in, regardless of them hollering and screaming and acting stupid, and fix it. We saw when the woman, when she was Europe and wherever she was, intoxicated, away from home, intoxicated, acting a darn fool. Well, I go to Italy or I go to Europe to cut up and cut loose. Got it. But who's watching over you? That needs to be answered. That needs to be taken care of first and foremost. You're falling off of rocks, hitting obstacles, and then you want a man to come and help you. And then when you're cussing that man out, acting stupid, that man try to help you. That man don't even know you. That man might be on vacation as well. He helps you. He touches something he's not supposed to touch, trying to help you out because you falling all over the place. And he don't even mean to touch it. You try to accuse him of something. Authorities coming to get him, locking him up. Now he can't go home. That's why that man said, screw this. I'm going to find something else to do. You get mad, call him out his name. He turn around. Now you got an issue. Y'all talking too much. That mouth is getting you in trouble. That emotional intelligence seems to fly out the window. No situational awareness. Shut that mouth up. Sit down.